We're at the secondary location today, and we are going to get our April vibes. Let's see what is trending in the energy, at least for April. Something that potentially we could see manifest. Well, I heard big time, and when I heard big time, the Judgment card came out. So we could be talking about high level stuff, or perhaps something a bit more significant in your life, depending on what you're vibing with. Oh, it's on top of there. All right. I let them tell me. I just shuffle the cards and read them. I don't get to pick them unless they tell me to pick. Sometimes they do. And we're not going under the deck today. They've been telling me no under the deck. I was like, all right, what's on this Judgment card? Y'all, do you know what's on this Judgment card? I'm going to give you 5 seconds. We're going to count down. If you guessed the Wheel of Fortune on the Judgment card, what's happening? What's happening? Oh my God, something's happening. Potentially. Huge if true. So we have Judgment in the Wheel of Fortune to start off with. Oh my gosh. The 7 of Cups, it could be a lot of things. Or that's talking about social media, TikTok, short form content. The Queen of Cups, okay. Immediately, I always feel so cringe, like putting myself in a read, but I'm just like, immediately what I'm getting from this is they're gonna be telling you about a number of different things. And if it's not one big thing, there are going to be a number of events going on in the energy that will potentially start manifesting in April that are either going to come of this large thing, or it's going to contribute to like a major shift, at least in your personal life. So I am actually not going to get a whole bunch on this Queen of Cups, because sometimes I just get the Queen of Cups like as me. And so that's just telling me I'm about to be telling you what's important for me to tell you about is whatever this Judgment Wheel of Fortune is, how that's potentially going to affect you, and maybe some of what this is, if these are lots of little events, or maybe one big event. And we are starting with the 7 of Cups. So we'll pull on that first. So our 7 of Cups, well, these things could come in like rapid succession, or they will be swiftly incoming with the Knight of Wands. That can be something a bit more aggressive as well. The Page of Pentacles, let me hold that up. Page of Pentacles, we could show this deck. The Page of Pentacles, and that's in real life. So and that is kind of lending itself to more maybe multiple small manifestations that are going to amount to something big. So potentially you will start seeing small in real life manifestations of these things, whatever they are. The 9 of Cups, y'all, this might be positive. You know, I get nervous with that Judgment Wheel of Fortune. We might have some positive manifestations coming in for y'all, especially if you know you've been, because like the 9 of Cups can, besides talking about like self-satisfaction, ooh, something in my eye, that can talk about like a personal dream or personal fulfillment, well, self-satisfaction. But like if you know you've been building towards something, it could be that you are getting manifestations about that. And we have kind of been getting some little messages like that besides the broader ones on the channel. So I'll go around again one more time on this row to see if we can't get any more details. But so far, it looks relatively positive. Oh, 5 of Cups, Ace of Swords on this Knight of Wands. Well, if you have had any upsets or anything like that, it could be that like you're moving out of it. You've got clarity on whatever it is you were upset about, and that's like moving forward. Or that could be something about like upsetting news. Upsetting news. I'll look at that 5 of Cups in a minute. I'm gonna go around first, and then if I have more questions about that, like, because, well, you know what, let me get these cards and then I'll say whatever it is, because that's kind of a repeat message and I don't want to get us stuck in a message because like I can perpetuate something that kind of doesn't need to be here. It's not a bad thing, but yeah, there's some sort of news. There's some sort of news, and it's either coming from someone who is maybe a bit upset, or the news could potentially be upsetting, but I mean, we're ending with this 9 of Cups here. Justice. Justice. Well, whatever is happening, it is fair. It is within like karmic accord, okay, on the universal system. So whether that's like, that doesn't necessarily mean that something's automatically positive for you personally. Like something can be within cosmic universal balance. Things can balance out, and it can affect you negatively, even if you haven't like been behaving negatively, is what I mean. Like kind of universal balance isn't really like scaled towards the individual. So it's sort of like when we have something like overpopulation, right, and we are going to correct that, or the universe, the world naturally corrects for that, what tends to happen is like disease. And so the disease running through a population and potentially killing people or people dying from it, that has nothing to do generally with how you've behaved like morally or ethically. A virus does not care. There are certain things that like, if you know, this is how you tend to catch this virus, so stay away from these things, like that can be that's not about morals. It's just about like, are you listening to that or not? But so you can catch a disease or catch a virus and suffer a negative consequence from it, a long-term negative health consequence, or you could, or someone that you know could die from it, and that is restoring a particular imbalance. But it has nothing to do necessarily with how you've behaved within like a righteous or like a good or bad way, is what I'm trying to say. So it might just be the universe that is satisfied by whatever is happening with this. And I don't know, but like most of this to me is trending positive. I'm just curious, like what is this 5 of Cups on this Knight of Wands? Because that's kind of the only negative-ish card. 5 of Pentacles. So we have a 5 on a 5. And this Ace of Swords, there's like some sort of like, I don't know if like you're gonna be potentially helping people through something. So like if you're like I don't know, somehow like something that you do, like you could know this, but something that you do could like be supporting people or helping people like through a rough time. Star, yeah, it's sort of like potentially depending on whatever this thing is. And I've been getting like, this is this message that I was like, let me just see. It's sort of like, while other people are doing really poorly, you might be doing really well. And if that is the case and you are secure with whatever you are doing, how are you then helping other people who are potentially not doing so well, like through that period of time? It's sort of like potentially you could be in a situation like that. You could have people looking up to you for some reason within like your family, your community, your friendship circle, or if you do something on social media, it could be something like that. But it's sort of like, I've been getting that. It's like, and we haven't had that yet because it seemed kind of like a first quarter 2025 thing. We're going into April. That's not the first quarter, but I mean, my timeline predictions can be notoriously crap. Like that's really, really hard to predict. But that kind of, there's going to be some kind of big world thing or like big, like that message hasn't really gone away, which means it hasn't manifested yet. And so, and this is still kind of here. Like I'm going to see if I can't pull a little bit more on this 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. Now we got the 2 of Cups on it. Both of these, what's going on here? Two of Cups, Page of Cups, Eight of Cups, Knight of Cups. We got a lot of cups. But this is still giving like mobilizing people into some sort of action maybe, but it's like loving action or caring action. Two of Cups, this is kind of like transmitting something. Like this is giving, like this Two of Cups is giving whatever this like Ace of Swords star is. And then like somebody receiving whatever the message is like Page of Cups, Eight of Cups. They've received the message, they're going out and they're spreading the message. Something like that. Something like that, I don't know. Messages of hope, perhaps? I'm not sure. So I will go ahead now and see if we can get anything about this Judgment Wheel of Fortune. And then depending on what we get here, because I'm going to try and like keep it, unless I see something very compelling, we'll try and keep it like relatively brief, because I mean, if it's a big event, like kind of, we're going to recognize it. And then I'll get what's like the best, what's the best thing that you can take from the message, or like the most important thing that you need to hear or do. And then we'll get the final advice outcome. All right, this Judgment Wheel, well, it's in Chariot. Here it comes. Girl, not under girl. The Chariot, the Four of Wands. See, like, I don't understand why this, like, Four of Wands, the Empress. This seems really positive. Like, that's what I'm unclear about. That's what I'm unclear about. Because that all seems really positive. And remember, if you're a man watching this and we have the Empress, like this isn't gendered, it just means the Judgment Wheel of Fortune is a force that is acting on you. So even if you're a man, you would be showing up as the Empress and not the Emperor, because the Empress is passive in the energy. These forces are acting on them. Potentially there could be something here about providing like comfort or stability to others. Potentially, like someone, like especially if you're a mom or like a parent, like someone could be looking to you that way, but it's kind of less that. Four of Swords. This could be something about that marriage thing that we had. If it's talking about like end of marriage, but if not, that's just talking about something peaceful. End of marriage, end of community. Knight of Swords, that could be what this is talking about. There's some sort of like radical change coming to like relationships or communities or marriage or family. And it also has to do with work. It's something about like, if I'm correct about the marriage thing, this has stuff to do with like who's allowed in the workplace and not, right? And to me, that seems quite outlandish. But I mean, maybe something in that vein. Let me pull in this Empress. Yeah, this is something about like potentially marriage, women in marriage, or femmes in marriage. Or could just be married people in general, because that's going to affect like, girl, not other girl. Like, I don't know, that's crazy. Like, I'm trying to imagine the scenario in which like they would say like married women can't be like in the workplace at all, or like women who like have the potential to like have kids like can't work. Like, I don't know, like that just seems like something that wouldn't happen. Because that would like radically affect, because you would think, I mean, oh, well, that's just going to affect women. Like, no, like the women who are married currently and we're depending on like two incomes for these families to sustain themselves, like that's going to hit a particular group of men really hard too. Well, it's going to hit all men who want to do that relatively hard. And then that's also bringing up stuff about like queer marriage or gay marriage as well. There's something about that in this. So I don't know. And I don't know how that would pertain to like unmarried people if I'm right, because I feel like I'm talking about some wild stuff. But you know, I'll throw it out there, and then if I'm wrong, then I'm just wrong. It doesn't manifest, like, good for us. All right, let's go ahead and see what is like the most important thing that you would need to hear. And then I'll pull the final. So that's the most important thing for y'all to hear. And then I want to know final advice outcome. Something about hold on to your money. Like try and be like maybe a bit more frugal in April, if possible. Or it's something about freezing assets. Ooh, girl, like, ooh. Let me look at this final advice outcome first. Well, here's like, besides that Queen of Cups and Empress, this is the first person who I'm seeing. There's something about, whatever it is that I'm talking about, and this came out in the last thing about marriage, it's got nothing to do with marriage. It's got to do with money. And there's somebody is being represented by a King of Wands magician, which the King of Wands is a magician, but it's not necessarily talking about an actual magical person, but it's someone who can manipulate funds or policy or something like that. Yeah, because I've got the initial polls for this final advice outcome was the Four of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Three of Swords. There is something about, and when I pulled on that Three of Swords, I have like the Emperor and the Two of Swords. It's like there's something about stopping certain people's money. What's that Two of Swords? The Eight of Swords, girl. It's like they're trying to stop a certain type of person's power. And these are masked, like the Emperor and the King of Wands are both here. That's like men. So they're doing something to like marriage or relationships, family, community, something. It has to do with money. It's like they're trying to stop money from like going somewhere. They're trying to freeze people's assets. And it's really like they're kind of going it like, because whenever I see this, it's like involving women or something, but like that's not really who they're trying to get to. They're trying to get to a particular sort of man. And the reason why I'm being like more gendered about this is because to me it's coming off as like something about like specifically heterosexual relationships or heterosexual marriage. And I'm not trying to say that because I think that like queer marriage isn't important or whatever. It's just that like whenever something big time is happening, like the thing that would be big time for queer marriage or gay marriage is that they just get rid of it. They invalidate it, okay? Like legally, politically. The thing that makes me like go gendered with this is the way the cards are going, and also because that stuff is the stuff that's typically tied to like birth rates and things like that, and like the like making more children. And like, again, I'm not saying that like queer people can't do that, but typically they're focusing on like, you know, the straight people or the people that they want to like try and force to be like in straight relationships and all of that. So that's why I'm being gendered about this. It's just coming across that way. But of course, like all types of marriage, because I don't know what this is. I just know it's something about relationships, marriage, money, community, money. And it like, it's not about the marriage, it's about the money, something. All right, so what's the most important thing for y'all to know? Well, probably you're gonna be stressed, all right? About money. There's something about money. Money or family. Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Three of Cups. And then there's that like, I do not understand what's happy about this. Because it's like, that's what I don't get about this. Like this mix of like positive and negative. Oh, it's not, okay. This is like, what this is saying is there's something about like this message with whatever I'm talking about, where like the powers that be that would be like doing this, like this is like, they're like party's over. Because I have the Three of Cups, like ending on this with the Six of Swords, it's like we're leaving, like party's over. Party's over. Like that's like what this is. So it's like the thing that you would most need to know is just kind of like understand that this is all kind of brewing right now. And like, yeah, that's stressful. Huge if true. Nine of Swords, Queen of Swords. Like I said, it could be predominantly women and femmes who are going to go through the most stress. And like, because the Queen of Swords is here. I don't know if I said that. Queen of Swords, King of Swords. Girl, non-gender girl. This is like they're breaking people up. Like, because the King and Queen of Swords are like exes. This is like something about divorce. And I mean, that's kind of been like, I don't know, but this is something like fairly major. Ten of Pentacles, Death. Girl. That's like ending something with money. It's ending something with family. It's ending like they're like ending like a certain way of being within like money, family, marriage. How would this, when this goes through, how would this affect people like kind of immediately, like day to day? I'm gonna see if I can get that before we tap out because I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's gonna change like your long-term plans maybe. Like, I was about to say your financial planning might radically alter. The Sun, Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. That could be like a stock portfolio taking a hit or like savings taking a hit. But it's like, I'm telling you, this is more pertaining to people. I mean, it's everybody, I guess, because I don't know how that would affect single people. But it's like, it's something about like long-term planning taking a hit, like Nine of Wands. Like it throws people's planning you know, out of whack. And on the Sun I have like the Moon. Like it's like this is like coming across to me because with the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune like overriding this entire read, this is like a change of alignment. It's like an orbit going out of whack. It's like something's pulling people this way and it's not necessarily the way that they want to go. And this is like in production right now. This is under the deck. It's hidden energy because the Seven of Swords, Eight of Wands here. Like the foundation is laid for this and is sort of like fast incoming, most likely. Girl, I don't know. I guess we're gonna see.